high call series.
Morning, children. So, in the previous class, we have learned about the different divisions by which the Earth is classified based on the different climatic conditions. What are the different factors that can influence the climate of the region? Okay. So, all these kinds of things we have discussed in the previous class, and now onwards, we are to deal with the different countries from these different kinds of climatic regions, right? So in the journey, we will start very close or around the equator, right? So from equator, we have the same kind of climatic conditions as we go towards the northern pole, and the same kind of climatic condition as we go to the southern pole also, isn't it? Yes. So we will be dealing with the different countries which are located at different places, right? So we know that latitudes or the parallels we call them are the factors, right, which make the based on which we have these different kinds of climatic analysis that we do, isn't it? Yes. So we know that this is the equator, and this is the Tropic of Cancer, and this is the Tropic of Capricorn, right? So, in between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, it's very hot and humid conditions can be seen there, right? So, the climatic conditions that we see or experience usually in between the equator and the Tropic of Cancer and equator and the Tropic of Capricorn. In short, from the Tropic of Cancer to the Tropic of Capricorn. Right? From Tropic of Cancer to the Tropic of Capricorn is called tropical climate. Right? The speciality is it's hot, at the same time it's wet. It's very hot and it's very wet. The speciality of this region is that this equatorial region and the sun rays fall straight on the equator, isn't it? So morning to afternoon, this region experiences extreme hot conditions, and from afternoon till the evening, it rains very heavy in this region. Okay, so from morning to afternoon, half of a day, it's very hot and humid conditions over there, and from afternoon, it starts to rain heavily with huge thunderstorms. You know thunderstorms, huh? Yes. So, this region actually experiences very hot and very wet climatic conditions. Enough amount of sunlight and a very good amount of water actually helps, yes, very thick, dense forest regions are also found in this region. Okay? So this region in between this equator has wet, hot climatic conditions which actually supports thick, dense growth of forests. And the forest that we can find in this region is actually known as a tropical forest or a equatorial forest. Okay, so the thick, dense forest that grow along the equator is known as a equatorial forest or a tropical forest. The specialities, they are very big, they are very dense and a thick growing forests. Right? Now, which are the regions where we can find this equatorial forest or a temperate forest, tropical forest? Which are the regions where we can find a tropical forest? In South America. South America is a continent which has a equator passing through the northern part of it, isn't it? Yes. So in this region, we have a very thick, dense forest that is known as the Amazon forest. Right? The Amazon forest, which is almost, there are regions in this Amazon forest where we have not yet reached. Means the humans from the outer world has not yet reached some dense part of the Amazon river. Okay, so they are in the northern part of South America. Right? Here we have the Amazon forest region. Now, here, Central Africa. Okay, Central Africa. Here we have Congo Basin. So here there is a river called Amazon. A river basically called the Amazon. And what is basin region? Basin means what? Yeah, the region that is made wet by the river and its tributaries. Okay, so this region is totally drained by this Amazon river, and on this basin there grows this thick forest which we call the Amazon forest. Okay, now here in the Central Africa also we have such kind of a thick dense forest region along the river Congo. There is a river called the Congo, and on the basin of this Congo river, we have a very thick forest which is known as the Congo Basin. And here we can see some islands are here. Yeah, the Indonesia, Singapore, Thailand region is actually lying in the equatorial region, and here also we can find the thick, dense forest regions. So the equatorial or tropical forest regions are basically found in the regions of Amazon basin in the northern part of South America, the Congo basin in the Central American area, the Central African area, and the South Asian island groups. Right? Okay, they are so thick. The trees are very tall. The trees grow very tall, and they will have thick canopy. Thick canopy means even sunlight cannot penetrate through that and reach the ground. Okay, we cannot just see the ground over there. Such thick forests are known as the tropical forest region. So now we are going to learn about a country that actually lies in this region. Right? We are now going to learn about a country which is actually lying in this region, and we are actually now going not for this South American part or not for this Southeast Asian part, but we are going to learn a country in this African continent, the dark continent. Okay, so here we have one country, and that country is called DRC, means Democratic Republic of Congo. What is the name of the country? Democratic Republic of Congo. So that is actually located in the African continent, right? Yes. This is the African continent we can see over here, and this red marked country is what we call the Democratic Republic of Congo, right? It's a Central American country, Central African country. It's a Central African country, and the equator actually passes through this region, right? We can see this is the Congo. Yes, this is the Democratic Republic of Congo, and here we can see the equator passing through the Democratic Republic of Congo. So that country actually lies on the equator, right? Yes, Democratic Republic of Congo. Here we can see this river? Yes, this is the river which actually has a very great basin around this region, right? So Congo is basically a Central African country. It is the second largest country in Africa. DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. Okay, so DRC or Democratic Republic of Congo, we will simply call it a DRC, right? So DRC is a Central African country, and it is the second largest country in the continent of Africa. This is totally on the tropical zone because Yeah, the equator passes through the northern part of the country, right? And what are the boundaries of this country? So we have, yes, this is a country. This is actually known as a Congo. This country is actually, yes, this is a country called the Congo, and that Congo lies on the west of DRC. Congo lies on the west of DRC. Central African Republic and another country called the Sudan. Central African Republic and Sudan are the north of DRC. We have Uganda. Then here is a small country called Rwanda. Then below that there is another one called Burundi, and another one is Tanzania. This big country is called Tanzania, right? So we have Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, and Tanzania on the eastern side of this country. Zambia and Angola are on the south. Okay, so we have Congo on the west, Central African Republic and Sudan on the north, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, and Tanzania on the east, Zambia and Angola on the south. And this country has a very small border with this ocean also. What is the name of the ocean that lies on the west of Africa? The ocean that lies on the west of Africa is the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, so the kingdom of the Democratic Republic of Congo has a very small boundary with the ocean also. That is also on the west, and it boundaries there with the Atlantic Ocean. Right? So that is about the political divisions or borders and the boundaries of African Republic of Sudan. Democratic Republic of Congo. Right? So earlier, this was actually a Belgian colony, right? So we know India was a colony of British, isn't it? So just like that, DRC Congo was a Belgian colony. There is another European country by the name Belgium. Okay, so they conquered and ruled Congo until 1960. We got in 1947 and still 13 years more. Okay, so DRC was a Belgian colony. Then it was, at that time, it was known as a Belgian Congo. We had East India Company, we were known as East India. So, at that time, when DRC was ruled by the Belgian government, then it was known as a Belgian Congo. So, in 1960, they got freedom from the Belgian and then it was known as Zaire. Then the country was known as Zaire, and in 1997, they changed the name of the country as the Democratic Republic of Congo. Even now, we call it either by the name DRC or by the name Zaire. Okay, we know there is a big river that is actually forming the base structure for everything that is what is happening over there, and that river is actually known as the River Congo, and the same river is also known as the River Zaire. Okay, so somehow let us call it either Democratic Republic of Congo or Zaire. It doesn't matter much because the name of the river itself is either Congo or Zaire. Right? Yeah. Now we will check a bit deep about this river. Right? Yeah, we can see here a blue line that is it's almost entire country is covered in that line. Right? So this particular, from here, it goes like this here, and it is coming and joining here. This is called the river Zaire, and it is the second largest river in Africa. Which is the first largest river? Nile is the first largest river in Africa, and the second largest river is a river Congo or a river Zaire. Okay, this river is actually known as the highway of Central Africa. This river is actually known as highway of Central Africa. Highway means what? There's a lot of transportation is happening through that particular area, isn't it? And you see, almost every part of this country is connected through the main rivers and its main tributaries. Okay, we can in a map we can see only these much, but still more smaller tributaries are also there. Okay, and in this region, the central eastern side of Congo, there are high mountains. And see, almost all the major tributaries are originating from this region, the central eastern region, because they get enough water from these mountains. It rains every afternoon, isn't it? Plenty of river water is available over there, right? And there is no dirt in water there, plenty of water. And it originates from these lakes also. See, we have some lakes here, Lake Albert, Lake Edward, Lake Tanganyika. So all these are major lakes which are also the source for these rivers. Just like Brahmaputra originates from the Lake Manasarovar. Right? These lakes also feed these rivers, and most part of this river is transportable. Transportable means, yes, another speciality of this river is that River Congo is the deepest river in the world. It's so deep that we can completely immerse some of the biggest buildings on earth in that river. At some points, the depth of this river is almost equal to some of the biggest buildings, like say, for example, Eiffel Tower. Have you seen Eiffel Tower? The iconic iron and steel structure. We can completely immerse Eiffel Tower in this river. Okay, so it's very deep and it is very wide also. It's very huge river. On the map itself, we have shown this river in this way, which means these rivers are very wide. These rivers are very wide. See, it's an aerial shot. What do you mean by aerial shot? A shot which is actually taken from the sky. Okay. See, all these green patch here are the dense forests. We have seen that, no? Evergreen forest. Yes. So, see, can we see the soil over there? Yeah, only somewhere here and there. See, here we can see some grassland type. Here also there are some grass growing there. Other than that, is it possible for us to see any sand kind of thing anywhere there? And in this shot, we can see the size of the trees are very small, but look at the size of the river. The river is very huge. Okay, it's very huge, and transportation, water-based transportation is established based on this river Congo and its tributaries. Okay, right? And there are some lakes also. Lake Albert, Lake Edward, and this is Lake Kivu. This one, this small piece, is called Lake Kivu, and then Lake Tanganyika. Okay, and the tributaries. Most of the part of this river is transportable, even using big, not that big ships which we can find in what we call an oceans, but other kinds of. And this river Congo flows and joins Atlantic Ocean at a place called Matadi, which is the only port city in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Okay, so this country has got only one port city, and that is Matadi, and that is a place where the Congo River comes and joins Atlantic Ocean. And the capital of this country is Kinshasa. Okay, the capital of this country is Kinshasa, and that is also located on the banks of Congo River. Right? Now, climate of this country. We have already seen that it lies on the equator. It has a tropical climate. Then it's very hot during the morning time, and it rains in the afternoon. It's very hot and wet climate over here. The afternoon showers, afternoon rains are always accompanied by what? Lightning and thunder. Then what's the average rainfall? Can you imagine what is the average rainfall that this region receives? What do you mean by average rainfall? The amount of rainfall that a country or a region or a place receives over a period of time. Right? So usually we have an instrument called a rain gauge. A small bottle with a funnel with a scale attached to that with which we measure how much rain did we receive. So on an average, DRC receives, or the Democratic Republic of Congo receives not less than 200 millimeters of rain. 200 millimeters means how much? 2 meters of rain. Right? If we completely block the water over there, right, without allowing that water to join the river or get into the sea, after the end of 1 year, we can see the entire Congo will be 2 meters below the water. Okay? So that is the climatic conditions of this region. It receives very it receives the sun rays from the sun straight during the morning time. It's very hot during that time, and it rains heavily in the afternoon time. Right? And this dense forest region that DRC has is the second largest such forest in the world. The first one we've already seen in the first map, Amazon forest region. Yes, Amazon river is the biggest river in the world, and the evergreen forest, the tropical forest that grows on the basin region of Amazon river is the biggest in that kind of a forest. And the second biggest tropical forest is the Congo basin, the dense forest in the Congo basin. Right? Now, we have seen, the trees that are there are very huge. Okay. So the forest region that covers DRC is very thick, denser, tropical forest, and some parts we can see evergreen forest also. Evergreen forest means they will never shed their leaves, and throughout the year they will be green in color. Right? The trees that grows in this region, see, this is an aerial shot, another aerial shot we can see here. And the height of these trees can grow very easily up to 50 to 60 meters high. We are a fully grown up man is hardly 3 meters high. Okay, so these trees can grow easily up to a height of 50 to 60 meters. And on top, they form a thick canopy. Canopy means what? We have canopy tents are there, a conical shape. Yes, so this is, they also have this branch formation, leaves and all. And that canopy is so thick that it doesn't even allow the sunlight to come in onto the ground. It's very thick. And This region actually has basically hardwood trees, which are used in the furniture industries and all. Okay, so that is about the forest, and a large variety of animals are also found in this region. A very large variety of animals are also found in this forest region. See, which are they? You know this animal, gorilla. Huh? Yes. And these gorillas are seen only in this region, in this forest region, right? In a DRC. The next one is antelope. It actually belongs to the family of deer. They actually belong to the family of deer, but a different one, right? Okay. Next one is a baboon. Is a variety of monkey. The type of monkey that is seen over there is called a baboon, right? Bonobo. Bonobo. So it's a very small variety of a monkey. It's a very small variety of a monkey, but quite an interesting one, right? The next one is crocodile. Crocodile. Next, elephant. African elephants, we know, no? African elephants. Yes, they are bigger than the Indian elephants. They are huge in size. Their ears are special. Indian elephants do not have these kind of big ears, right? Okay, African elephants, then, which can be seen only in these regions in the world. Nowhere else can we find naturally, not in the zoo, right? Okay, next, hippopotamus. Hippopotamus, right? Lion, not Asiatic lion, African lion, right? Again, African lions also have a thick mane than that of the Indian or the Asiatic lions. Okay, then okapi. It's a very strange kind of an animal. Okapi. They have got a zebra type legs. Only on legs they have the marks. Okay, and head is almost like that of a it's different because see they have horns here. Usually, just behind the ears, the animals have horns, isn't it? And these okapis have horns just above the eyes, and sometimes they will have only a single horn. Horn means it won't grow so high, big, but two horns are there just above the eyes, and sometimes they will have only one horn, and then they are known as the unicorns, right? So these are very special as far as this tropical African forest regions are concerned. Okapi is famous. Ostrich, the biggest bird in the world. Biggest bird in the world. Very dangerous also. Yeah, next. Pythons. Python is just an example, frankly speaking. The thick, dense tropical forest regions have got very varieties of snakes over there. Right? Pythons are just an example. They are very huge and big snakes which can easily swallow, animals like cows, buffaloes and all. Just as you take a lollipop, the best comparison. Just as you take a lollipop, they can easily swallow huge animals also. Right? Okay, the next one. Rhinoceros, the horned ones. Right? Okay, next. Tiger, not Asiatic tiger or the Sundarban Bengal tiger wala, no. African lions. And other than these animals, this tropical forest region houses a large number of insects also. Different varieties of butterflies. Then so many varieties of insects. Ants are there, right? Some insects are, stick insects. We usually call them stick insects because if they sit on a branch, we may feel that it's a leaf or something that on the branch. We won't identify it as an insect, right? So the animals that live over there has got so many specialities in that. One very interesting item is this. It's known as a Sese fly. What is the name of this fly? Sese fly. And the speciality of this fly is there are so many insects which spread different kinds of diseases, isn't it? Mosquitoes spread some diseases. Then flies can spread the malaria and all these kinds of things. But Sese fly is a different fly because it spreads a disease called sleeping sickness. Means once if you get affected by the bite or the excreta of this fly, you will develop a problem that you will be always sleeping. You will forget everything and you will be continuously sleeping. Okay? So this is considered as the most dangerous insect in the world because it spreads these diseases. Right? And the people over there, the people who are living in this region, so obviously Congo is not that much populated a place. Okay, we have already seen much part of Congo is covered with the forest regions, and here and there are some village communities where we can find the people. And they are very much afraid of not about the lions or tigers or crocodiles or elephants or something else, but this item. Because they need to go to the forest for hunting, they need to go to the forest for other activities, and whenever they go, this is the biggest problem because the man who gets affected by this will fall down there and start to sleep. He won't even reach home. And people will die out of this sleepiness. They want to wake out of it. Right? So this fly called the Sese fly is the most dangerous insect found in the tropical forest regions of Congo. Okay, DRC. Right. So this is a sample of how the people in this region look like. Okay. So one basic feature of the people over there are they are comparatively shorter. They won't grow 6 feet. They are comparatively shorter. And see, their complexion is very dark. The people who live in this region of the world, they are usually very dark. Okay, and that is why the continent is known as the dark continent. And another speciality is, see their hair. Can you see the hair? We have long hairs now. They have got a very spring type hair and that too won't grow much. Okay, just like the carpet grass that we have in front of our house, lawns and all, they will have seen. It's very simple. Isn't it? Spring type, short hairs and dark complexion, small in size. Okay, are quite the common features of the people over there. They belong to various tribes. The people in the Congo basin belong to various tribes, and one common thing is that they all speak a common language, and that language is known as a Bantu. Bantu. Not Bantu. Bantu. B-A-N-T-U. Bantu is a language that is spoken by the people over there. So as they are tribal people, they live very close to the forest regions over there, right? And there is another people called Pygmies. The specialty of Pygmies is, Pygmy means short. Pygmy means very short. And the problem with this Pygmies is that, they won't grow more than hardly 1.5 meters. Means what? Half of our size. If this is the size of a full human being in our country, this is the size of the Pygmies, fully grown. Okay, so Pygmies won't grow more than 1.5 meters and they are nomads. Nomad means they won't stay somewhere. They will be wandering. And another specialty is that they are very good hunters. Most of the tribal people in this region are very excellent in hunting. And some of the tribes in this region, they have the skills to walk on on the leaves without making any sounds. Shooting using bows and arrows, spears, just almost equal to that of how the early primitive men, no, hunter gatherers. Yes, almost like that. And they even use or make strategically dangerous weapons also. For example, uh, you know, some animals are there, no, which are very dangerous by means of the poison that they have in the body. Some frogs are there, some other animals are there. What they will do is these people will kill these animals, take the poison out, and they use this poison to apply it on the arrows they use. So what will happen? Yes, the moment they shoot this arrow, yes, the arrow will go into the body and the poison on this arrow will get into the blood of that animal or whatever that is, and the person or the animal will die very soon. Okay, so the people who live in this region are very dangerous. Okay, and there are some other tribes also other than Pygmies. There are some other tribes like Tawa, Bakka, Akka, Buti are some kinds of tribes that are there in this region. And some of these tribal are settled ones, and some like the Pygmies are always a traveling one. The settled people always cultivate some kinds of crops like nuts, roots, berries, and all. And they usually get a lot of fruits and berries, roots, and all as they wander in the forest regions also. Right? We have seen, no, this region was actually a colony of Belgium, right? And later on, when they got independence, still, the civilized people from the outer world, like the European countries, they do still go there, and there are much changes in the lifestyle of the people over there. Okay. Earlier, their life was very tribal in nature. They used leaves or the animal skins and all as a clothes and all. But now, with the help of these people who are going there for various purposes, including trade, they are changing themselves also. And in this process, they have also started cultivating a good number of crops like banana, coconut, coffee, cocoa, tea, rubber. Okay, the plantation crops basically, which receives a very good amount of rainfall. Yeah. So these kinds of crops are also now grown over there. The basic language, the people over there, they use French, English, and Bantu. The local language is Bantu. Earlier, it was a Belgian colony, so French is also used there. And now the Europeans would go there for various purposes, so the people over there are able to nowadays speak a bit of English also. Then there are some local languages also, like different tribal groups live in different regions. And whenever they live in different regions, there will be some variations in the usage of language also. Okay, there are some dialectal variations we call different dialects of the Bantu language are also used there. Most of the people who live over there are following the religion of Christianity because it's very close to the British or the European countries, and they often go there for various purposes, civilizing these people, right? So Christianity has got a very good following in the Democratic Republic of Congo. About 80% of the people over there are Christians now, right? Roman Catholic Church is what is being followed there. Then the national flag of DRC is a green with a yellow disc. A green flag with an yellow disc bearing a torch is a national flag of this Congo. Now, what are the kind of industries? So, we have already seen it's a thick, dense forest covered country, not much populated also. It's very sparsely populated. We can see populations only here and there in the region. But the basic kind of industries that we can find over there include textile industry, chemical industry, cement industry, cigarette industries, and food processing industries. Okay, so what are the major industries that are found in the DRC? Textiles, chemicals, cement, cigarette, and food processing industries. Then, mineral resources. Democratic Republic of Congo is very famous for the amount of mineral wealth they have. Okay, it's the largest producer of cobalt and a major producer of copper and industrial diamonds. Industrial diamonds is entirely different from what we use in jewelry. Okay, so they are the raw diamonds, simply we can say. So that mine we dig and get these kinds of things. Yeah. So raw diamonds, then copper, and the leading producer of cobalt, right? And there are extensive mineral fields are identified, especially with the minerals like diamonds are there, gold mines are there, copper, manganese. Okay, these are the major kinds of minerals we can find there. And now, DRC is identified with some significant deposits of tantalum. It's another mineral which is extensively used in the fabrication works. Okay, we have nowadays we are extensively using electronic items like mobile phones, then computers, laptops, and all. No? And this mineral tantalum is used for the electronic, circuit makings and all these kinds of things in making of this electronic devices. Okay, and this tantalum is extensively found in DRC, right? Then it has plenty of water sources also. A very good amount of that particular country is actually completely covered with a big river and its tributaries. So there are some major dams also. There are some major dams also built on this river. Now, the major cities we have already seen. Kinshasa, the capital city, is something like a modern city as far as Kinshasa is concerned, being the capital city which lies on the western side of DRC is a modern city. Then we had a port city, Matadi. Matadi is a port city, one of the business centers, and on the eastern side of it, there is another city called Bicau. Okay, Bicau is one of the most famous, tourist attractive place in DRC. Right? Plenty of lakes, rivers, water sports, and all these kinds of things are provided in Bicau. So these are the major cities over there. Which are they? Kinshasa is a capital city. Matadi is a port city, and Bicau is a tourist city, right? Plenty of rivers are there, streams, these what we call tributaries are there from different parts. We have already seen the central eastern part of Congo, which has a huge hill ranges over there, from where many of these rivers originate, have a lot of streams or tributaries actually for the river Congo. And this region has some major tourist attractions like the streams, the waterfalls and all. Right? The major mode of transportation is water transportation. It's water transportation because such an extensive and expansive river with a very good network in between them actually makes water transportation possible. right? In the major cities, there are road transportation. Railways is one of the recent introduction as far as the DRC is concerned, because the port city, the people come to the capital city from where there are some roads which connects with some other major regions. But once from there, from the eastern side to the western side, if we want to travel, then we have to get onto a boat. We have to travel along all the way through the river Congo and then we reach there. Otherwise, we need to reach directly over there from the other countries. The border countries are there, no? Yes, so from there, we have to go to this region. And this region, the central eastern part of this country, Democratic Republic of Congo, is blessed with a very good streams, canals, and these waterfalls, which are actually one of the major attraction nowadays, especially for the tourists. Okay, so that is what we have got to know about the Democratic Republic of Congo. So now, you have got the PDF of this lesson along with this video attachment. Okay, you can download it and read the lesson in detail, and have other references also given in the textbook. Now we will go on to the activity part of this lesson. Okay.